Testing, testing. Okay, do we have audio now? Sorry folks, we're working on the audio levels here. I'll get to covering the action here. You got Richards ahead of Partridge by about a half a second. About a third of the way through this 300 lapper at Richmond. Adjustment. Hopefully that's a little better balance. Here's your third place car, Ron Caranci, about 3 seconds back from the leaders. Leaders here in traffic with lapping Jay Crable. Notice Caranci closed up almost a half second there. They must have gotten hung up just a little bit. Oh, looks like we got a spinner. Robert Lovell, oh, he's got it going back straight on the backstretch, no caution. Partridge has appeared the faster car since I've logged in here to watch this race. He got up to the back of Richards and had a brush with the wall, regathered himself and was closed back in. Keeps looking low, but hasn't found the right opportunity. Larry Norman a lap down. After Norman goes a lap down, we'll have 3 cars on the lead lap: Richards, Partridge, and Caranci. That's likely to be a battle that will follow all night. Let's also take a look at the battle of the guys behind them. Norman, Crable, Setkoviak, Lovell, and Vine are all 1 lap down. And still running out the field, we have longtime admin Pete Rawich. John Stanley and Dakota Bowman are your DNFs from earlier this evening. We got a little side-by-side with Crable and Norman battling to be in the lucky dog position. France will be looking to get by clean here, even though these 2 guys are racing each other. Ron's showing some good patience there. Looks like he's going to be rewarded as Larry moves out of the way and lets him go and get on by. And, Norman and Crable will go back to their race. See, Koviak had stopped in for the pits there. It puts him 2 laps down. Partridge lets the fresh tires go on the outside. So Koviak turning lap times about half a second faster than the leaders here. Alright, just bringing up some standings here. We are in a chase here for F5. Notice the field is a little smaller tonight. They waited to allow as many drivers in as possible. Partridge and Richards separated by 1 point for the lead, it looks like. Richards already locked into the last round with a win last week. Like Partridge won the previous 2 weeks before that. So let's see. Looks like they'll be eliminating probably 3 drivers after this evening, and with Eachus, Poland, and Brownlee all missing in action, it's likely that those 3 will be the ones dropped for the next round. It's springtime, folks. Everybody out doing their yard work, and sometimes the sim racing numbers suffer a little bit, but those of us that love it and can still find the time are out here. Looks like your fastest laps of the nights have been about 21.4s. Leaders are currently running 22.6s. They've made 2 pit stops. Ron Caranci in 3rd place has only made 1 pit stop on the night. Apologize, but I can't give you the pit strategy to this state so far, but we'll definitely catch up with it here as guys make pit stops. Looks like they may not be too far away from them here. This is a 1x race, so run tonight could be upwards of 100 laps if they take care of their tires. Looks like John Vine is the only car one lap down right now. He'd be in the lucky dog position if a caution should fly. There's John. National Comedy Center Chevrolet. The drivers are working with a new tire this evening. They got a little softer tire with some more grip from Goodyear so they can cut through the corners a little better with this low downforce package. Lap times have dropped about another 2 to 3 tenths due to that change, but the tire fall off is still significant as we see leaders are now a second and a half off of their best times. Looks like Jay Crable has solidified his spot ahead of Larry Norman, who's gone 2 laps down. Must have had some sort of incident on the pit cycle that we didn't catch. He's actually the last car on the track right now. Running good lap time, so made a pit stop, but something must have happened there. Robert Lovell out tonight, Racer X in his 83 Bushmobile. Clancy off at a disadvantage here on some older tires as lap down traffic passes him. Looks like Vine is yet to pit also, as these guys 2 laps down make their way around him. Setkoviak back there is the next driver in position that will be, he'll be trying to get up here and challenge Lovell. That'll be for 6th place. And Crable just ahead of Lovell. These 3 are for position. 2 laps down, Crable, Lovell, and Setkoviak. So back to the lead, we still have the back and forth between Partridge and Richards, although have not seen Partridge able to get around him. John Richards has led 136 of the 152 laps this evening. Partridge has 2 in his pocket, and Ron Carancy's led 14. So it looks like it's been the John Richards show so far, as we've reached halfway. Pretty big correction by Rob there as he was off the throttle for a long time. When he got back to the gas, the car over-rotated him. Crable on new tires takes advantage. So that opened up about a 1.5-second gap that wasn't there previously. We'll see if Rob can chop that back down before these guys make pit stops. They're on old rubber. They're all running about 23 seconds at this point, which is a far cry from what they can do on new tires. There's Lovell coming around the outside. We're at the point of the race where the low and mid to high lines should be just about equal on grip. There goes Richards on pit lane, so he's pitting on lap 157. See if Partridge stays out or if he ducks in right away. Richards is down and away. Hugs that wall and exits on the backstretch. Comes out behind John Vine. Should be one lap down. Looks like Ron Caranci has also made his pit stop. There's Ron entering turn 3. John lets John go. And Partridge goes around again. I believe that's 3 laps, so he must be looking at his fuel and strategy for the rest of the race and have a target lap that he wants to pit on, because he's obviously going to lose a lot of time to the leader here. At least a second a lap. I say the leader. We're talking guys who have made their pit stops. That would be Richards, Vine, and Caranci. See, that car really doesn't want to turn into the corner, and he's having to wait a long time and to be gentle with the throttle on exit. Here comes Richards trying to get that lap back. Partridge stays out again. Richards will blow by him here. I think that's about 5 laps so far. Not sure what's to be gained by staying out at this point, since I don't think he could make it to as far as he needed to go to make it on one more stop. That would probably be about lap 190. Which is another 25 laps from now. If he stays out that long, then we'll know something's up. But Rob knows what he's doing. I'm sure there's some sort of tire fuel strategy here at play. But he is giving up a lot of time right now. These guys can make adjustments tonight when they hit the pit lane, and for the most part, I suspect most of them are looking for forward bite on corner exit, especially turn 2. The car comes with the default setup anyway, has 3 spring rubbers in the left rear. They can add to that, or maybe go a few positive clicks on the wedge. Looks like Ron's working the high line here a little bit, which is high to low. That's not a bad strategy. He gets a nice run off the corner with that line. Nice flat entry into 3. Let's see if he goes high to low again in 1 and 2. Yeah, see, he's keeping it up there above the black, and then he's cutting down to the line on exit. That's a line that allows him to run the car free, but to run the car straight off exit at turn 2, which is the most dangerous spot on the track for being loose, as he gets his lap back. He's turning about the same times as Richards, both are turning 21.6s. Let's see what kind of line Richards is using into turn 1. Okay, see, he's getting in the groove a little bit earlier and staying on the yellow line and then using the rotation of the car on exit. It's a little more of the, I guess, the typical Richmond line, but that can overwork the front tires if you don't get it slowed down when you want it to turn at the bottom of turns 1 and 2. So Richards and Crancy both turning 21.7s, Partridge at a 22.9. So 1.2 second difference, as Partridge has stayed out considerably longer than his adversaries here. Oh, Partridge is pitted. And there goes Richards by him. So Partridge pits on lap 174. "125 laps sounds like an awful long way to go. I don't know when these guys pitted previously, but last night at 2X we were getting 50 to 55 laps, so 125 seems out of the question. But I'm always wrong on that, so... Partridge comes out 1 lap down, makes a pass of Crable there. That was actually for position. We'll keep an eye on Caranci. He's 8 seconds behind Richards, turning about the same lap times. So as long as these guys are spread out like this, they will probably all run their preferred line, and most of that will be on the bottom. However, they are dealing with something new tonight, and that is the grip of the fast lane on the track is going to widen out as the night goes by. We're past halfway now, so they should be feeling the effects of the upper lane gaining grip. That should mean they could keep 2 to 4 tires outside of the black and experience about the same amount of grip. That doesn't mean that would be the preferred line, because you'll probably work your tires and heat up the fronts using that. It's a longer way around the track and works the front tires more. But should they get in a side-by-side situation, the outside line should become more and more of a possibility for them to use for a pass. Partridge doesn't seem to be saving a whole lot. He's come out running 21.6s. We've seen him run 4s in this race. Oh, as I say that, he runs a 21.48. Your leader, John Richards, is running a 21.9. So now Partridge is cutting into the lead. Remember, he is a lap down. We'll see how long it takes him to get that back. Looks like he's about 3/4 of a lap behind. No, I'm sorry, he was at the start finish. That's just a straightaway behind, actually, Partridge or Richards here. This is an important pass for Partridge here. He probably doesn't want to abuse his tires, but then again, he doesn't want to be a lap down in case a caution should come out and have to take the lucky dog. He wants to go ahead and make the pass. Obviously with fresher tires, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. He's got time. Looked like he had the speed there, but had to break his momentum. Probably try it in turn 1 here. As Richards leaves him the bottom. Good racing by these two. John slowed him down a little bit for one corner, but Rob wasn't quite there. Rob was patient. John opened the door on the next one. Alright, so throughout this, looks like Caranci has dropped back from 8 seconds to, well, he's still hanging in there, 7.8. So he's been running about the same lap times as Richards. It's interesting to note, in case we should have a caution, definitely looks like he has the speed to run with the leader. Looks like he may have even widened out that high line entry a little bit more. Still pretty low in 3 and 4, although I will say the entry into turn 3 into the second lane is probably one of the trickiest things to do on the track. You can so easily miss it high. So and it abuses the tires too. So Ron taking advantage of the high line in 1 and 2. Haven't seen anybody else doing that yet. Lovell in the pits. Looks like Larry Norman retired. This 2016 car is a handful. You hear, there's our leader, and in one lap you saw him have to blip the throttle off of turn 2 to make sure he didn't kick the rear end out too far, and then exiting turn 4 as he unwound the wheel, he actually had a little wall scrape there. It's work. Every lap. It's kind of funny. It's something I've been talking about with the other drivers on TeamSpeak. Sometimes I'll have a little conversation with somebody while I'm racing, and I know at this track at least, and some of the others we've been racing with the low downforce package, it's hard to talk. You're out of breath, you're working hard, you're thinking, you're paying attention to what you're doing, you're listening to your motor. The distractions now are very costly. But that's good. That's what we want. We want a challenge, and we want to do what we want to simulate what the guys in the real world are having to deal with. And if you watch them in practice so far this weekend, that rear end is stepping out. Nice job by Crable there. It goes a second lap down, but he is the first car laps down at this point, running 4th. So Partridge is about a half lap behind second place still. 20 seconds back, running about 3/10 faster than the leader. I failed to note the lap that Richards and Caranci pitted on. I remember saying Partridge was on he had 125 to go, so that must have been 175. I think it must have been 20 laps or so that that he pitted after. Was it that many? Was it 15 to 20? I'm just not sure, but I feel confident in saying that Richards and Caranci cannot make it to the end of the race. I'm not going to rule out that Partridge can, but he's not. It doesn't appear to be saving anything. It may be that he's going for a maybe just a quick splash and go, or 2 tires, so he can save himself 4 or 5 seconds on his pit stop and jump the leaders that way. But that's going to be hard to do given the amount of time that he lost on track by staying out on old tires. your fastest car on the lap, last 2 laps out of the top 3, has actually been Ron Caranci. He's holding that 8-second lead, actually dipping just inside of it on Richards right here. I know it's the job of the, look at that high line. Boy, he's really working it now. Of the broadcaster to be impartial, but I have to admit I find myself sort of rooting for Ron each week. He's a real nice guy and a great driver. He's gotten a lot of good finishes, but I haven't seen him win in this series, and I know he's got the speed, just needs to put everything together. He is really working the high line into turn 1 there and cutting down across the exit. I bet if we ask him out after the race if the high line came in, he'll say, "Heck yeah, I found it, didn't you see?" Crable stayed low there because he was entering the pits. Good communication must have happened there. John Richards has been able to put a little time between him and second place the last few laps. Ron Carancy's actually back to 9.5 seconds. Partridge has stopped making headway. I don't know if he's saving a little bit or whatnot, but he's 18 seconds back, and he's just running a tenth faster than these guys right now. See Robert Lovell here on newer tires catching the leader. I'm sure he'll find a way around here. See John hold the car down a little bit there as to allow Lovell to get around him, and the rear end broke loose there for just a moment. That is one of the hardest thing to do, is to put wheel into the car off turn 4 here at Richmond. Don't know if it exists in real world or not, but it seems like there's a little swale or a dip as you come off of turn 4, and the car drops into it, and the rear end just gets extra light right about there. And if you're already low on the track or you got wheel in it and you do not have the rear end locked down, it will spin on you in a hurry. Everyone knows turn 2 is tricky. You go out in your first lap and you realize you got to be throttle sensitive exiting turn 2, but turn 4 is one of those corners that you can just reach out and bite you. So Crancy made a little time there as Richards has had to deal with lap traffic. Still 9 seconds back. Partridge 16 seconds back, making 2 or 3 tenths per lap on the leaders. And Richards finds Ravich right at his exit there and has to lift. Pete does a nice job of giving him room. John's still not quite clear. Looks like Crable, Setkoviak, and Vine have all pitted again. Well, Crable and Setkoviak, at least, they have they've run 21.7s here. So with 68 laps to go, I'm sure all these guys are within their pit window. Leaders could pit, and I think that they're about halfway through. If they pit right about now, they would split the tires, basically, if they pitted when I think they did. So Partridge pitted on about 175. I think these other guys, first and second, pitted about 155, 160. And so that means they've gone about 70 laps. So it would make sense for them to pit any time now. That way they maximize each set of 4 tires. Partridge is obviously trying something different. Your lucky dog position car is currently Robert Lovell with 2 laps down. Those tires look like they're giving up. I don't think John meant to slide to the second lane there in 3 and 4. Just sort of slid up on entry. He's still running the main groove, pretty much. Gets in a little high in turn 1. A little wiggle off turn 2 there. Here he comes. Here comes your leader, John Richards, for his final pit stop. Ron Crancy goes by to take the lead. And there's Partridge getting by also. So this is lap 238. Four tires. Pretty good stop. Looks like it may have been about a half second extra there. Ron Crancy now in the pits. So he follows what the leader does right away. And this will put Partridge in the lead. There goes Richards. So Caranci and Richards are good to the end of the race. So it seems to me either Partridge has to go to the end or he has to go deep and take 2 tires, because he'd only made up to about, he was still about 15 seconds, maybe as low as 12. I was watching that and then lost track, but certainly no less than 10 seconds behind the leader when the leader pitted, and now the leader's going to be making time on him. So the only way for him to make up that 10 seconds is to either not pit, in which case he can give up 2/10 for the rest of the race. He's probably going to give up more than that. Well, he's working the wheel there. Here comes Caranci. He wants that lap back. He fell a lap behind. Richards is about 15 seconds back. Caranci is digging. He just ran a 21.3 flat, folks. That looks to be the fastest lap of the race so far. Here he comes, wasting no time with the leader. He sails on by. He can use those tires. Look at him. He's straight to the top right away at the beginning of this run. He knows that the grip is up there. And he runs a 21.49. Setting a blistering. Okay, Partridge pits. So he pits 8 laps after the leader. And there comes Richards to take the lead. Slides through his pits, but the crew adjusts. I think NASCAR would probably have something to say about that stop there, but sim racing is all good. Pit road's slippery. And here comes John. And he will put Partridge a lap down. Now Rob should be able to get that lap back, but I just don't see how he could possibly make up. He's going to have to make up about 23 seconds in less than 50 laps. He's not going to be a half second faster just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is John Richards' race to lose. He's over 10 seconds ahead of Caranci, who admittedly is turning incredible laps. He just turned a 21.42. So that's awesome to see. It's just, you know, it's going to use his tires up, and he's not going to be able to close in. But he is definitely the fastest car on the track. $50 to go. Best thing for John to do here really is to let Rob go. He does not want a caution, and I don't think Rob is going to come around and lap him. Oh, I heard some contact. Oh, we have a caution now. Oh, coming off turn 2, the dreaded, ouch. Dreaded turn 2, so easy to over-rotate on exit there. Pete Ravitch hits the inside wall on the backstretch. So this changes everything. I'm sure everybody will come down for 4 tires, and now we'll see some side-by-side racing. Partridge should be your lucky dog. Although, yes, there we go. And then some guys may take a wave around. That depends. You got Lovell, Crable, and Setkoviak all 2 laps down. So they're racing each other. The decision on whether or not to take the wave around or pit really comes down to how their tires are compared to the guys that they're racing. That left front appears to be down on the Ravitch machine. Looks like the 83, 78, and 52 will be wave rounds. And there they go. Alright, so we're going to have a restart with about 40 laps to go, which is long enough that you got to look after your tires. You can't just go out there and saw on the wheel. I doubt anybody put any air pressure or tape in their car. So we may see the tires come to some drivers here. So you may see, what's the third place car here? You may see Partridge lay back just a little bit. There's no point. But Carancy's been having that outside line really rolling. We'll see if he uses it here. Good start by John as he gets out to a car length and a half lead. See Ron swing out with that high line, gets a nice run as he cuts the bottom. He's going to make that move work. He needs to do it before Partridge gets there, because as he's using that high line, Partridge will come inside of him. So let's see if he can put a fender on Richards here soon. Top three all running 21.4s. We'll check in your wave rounds in just a moment. Crable and Lovell battling both one lap down. Ron is applying some pressure here, and he's got a good gap. Ten laps into the run, now running 21.6s. Looks like Partridge has closed a few car lengths the last lap or two. Saw Partridge get a little loose there. Alright, let's check in on the lap down battle. Crable looks like he's got a healthy lead over Lovell. About a half a straightaway. Actually, the leaders are catching this group. Remember, they were wave around, so their tires are old. Everyone gets by safely. It looked like Ron wanted to put up too much of a fight there as Rob caught him. About 20 laps into the run now. 20 to go, and we're running 21.7s. So does Partridge have anything for Richards, and can Caranci pull out some of those fast highline laps to close the deal as these two guys race for the lead? Richards has looked strong all night. Let's see what these guys have got left. So everyone's now 2 laps down. Crable in your lucky dog position. He is there. Oh! A little bit of a moment for Partridge there. He got to the back bumper of Richards. Caranci is still hanging right in there. Looked like Rob was able to get back to the throttle real early in 3 and 4. Looks like he's on the edge coming off turn 2. That car is tipping. Francie with a 4-wheel slide there off 4. As we come to 10 to go. So they're 30 laps into the 40-lap run to the finish, running 22 flats. So they're 0.6 off their best times. Who has saved enough? Partridge used a little bit top lane grip there. He's still using the top. If he can get a fender on the outside of Richards, Richards will have to put extra wheel in the car, and that'll make it very difficult to get off, especially turn 4. As these guys start to race, notice Caranci closing the gap. Oh, a little scrapey. Yeah, he owes him a bump there. Caranci coming back in the picture. 6 to go. We've got a 3-way battle, folks. It's on. Partridge looks on the outside off of 4. Richards just does keep him clear. Oh, he may have the inside here going into turn 3, though. Nope. Two to go. Or 3, I'm sorry. Wow, what a dive to the bottom. What a dive to the bottom that was. We're on the last lap. That was everything. Holding on to it. Your final lap, come to the checkers. Oh, Caranci may take second. Coming around the outside. He does. He takes second from Partridge, who gave his soul to try and get the win. Let's go back and look at that. just refuses to lift, and then gets a little bit of the yellow line, gets loose on exit, and then watch Caranci come around the top here. Just puts his foot in the throttle, doesn't lift. Well, I'm sure Rob was disappointed to lose second place there, but had to make the effort. Good race, good win by John Richards. Good run by the top three. Mark Setkowiak finished his fourth. How did that happen? I'm sorry, I missed that, folks. I was watching the top three. Good job, Mark Setkowiak bringing it home fourth. Jay Crable is fifth. John Vine finishes sixth. Robert Lovell seventh. Pete Ravitch is your last finisher in eighth place. Good run, guys.